What's going on, folks? TJ Lauerman, a.k.a. That Sports Gamer here. Bullpen Banter, episode 44. Got my man Snaggle J with me. Chris, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. Pretty good. You know what? The servers kind of messing up my Monday, but other than that, pretty good. Can't complain a whole lot.
Yeah, so far, no complaints right now. Other than the two-factor not working on PlayStation today, making it damn near impossible for me to get into the Show Nation.
That was a problem.
Yeah, but I got in, and I did work. I did work today.
Yes.
Millennium will be joining us shortly. We assume he's watching ice soccer, I believe they call it. What is it called?
Yeah. Yes. Ice soccer.
Ice soccer. I believe the NHL playoffs are currently happening. Is that true? I don't even know who's in.
It's factual. It's very factual.
What teams did I even do today?
What collections did you complete today?
Yeah, I did the Athletics.
You did the Athletics, and you also did the Royals, maybe?
I did not do the Royals. I still have 18,000.
Or the Rangers.
Did the Rangers last night. So
right.
This is the update part of the beginning. I did the Rangers last night. We got that Buddy Bell. Just did the A's, as you saw. And then I also did the Minnehaha Twins. Right?
Yes.
Dozier was the last pickup today that I did. So we're getting some of these legends in here. Mainly the reason I did the Rangers was because Buddy Bell is a monster, and I want to play him at shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the good thing about the Rangers, and you don't see this with a lot of teams, it's like the Braves. If you do the Braves, you have Freddie Freeman, who's your gold. He's going to play first base. But then the problem is you do your 40-man and do the team epics, you get another first baseman.
Yeah.
And Freddie Freeman doesn't really play anywhere else. But with the Rangers, you get LaCroix to be your catcher. You get Beltre to be your third baseman. When you get all of them, you get Buddy Bell to be your shortstop. Do the team epic, you get Ian Kinsler. Plus you have Hamels and Darvish to pitch for you. Is there anybody else? That's all the goals they got? You can play Odor at second base. He's got those high boosts.
I was going to say, you get Odor of it. Like right now, I've started to transition into making my run through seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally have LaCroix, Bell, Beltre, and Darvish all in my active lineup. So all guys, and I'm actually trying to work towards the Kinsler epic. I do have live series Ian Kinsler as my second baseman right now. But obviously the epic, has a little bit better in the stats department. But yeah, the Rangers, it is, you can tell like the prices are, reasonable. I think it cost me about $52K to do the collection.
Yeah, I think on Daddy League it's saying like 55 to 65 to do the whole thing.
Yeah, so like it is 50 to 60K is a lot, but when you look at the fact that you're going to get, three, and Hamels, if you include Hamels in that, I don't use Hamels personally, but
he's an 85. He can play.
He can play, yeah. I just don't enjoy Hamels personally. He's not a guy that I use. But, you get Hamels and Darvish for your rotation. You get Beltre to play third. Buddy Bell plays a fantastic shortstop. I've been using him at shortstop pretty much exclusively since I got him. No issues. He plays at shortstop very well. Get LaCroix to be your catcher. I've struggled with LaCroix. He's a good catcher. He's a good card. I haven't hit well with him personally. I've actually gone back to using Yadier Molina. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, it's hard to go through and do a collection and get the 40-man reward and really not duplicate anything.
Yeah. Looking at the Buddy Bell real quick, 97 contact versus righties, 91 power versus contact versus lefties, 75 power versus righties. Not so much power against lefties, but that 97 vision, he's going to be in there every at-bat. But the big thing is that 94 fielding, even though he's a base third baseman, shortstop's is secondary, so the hit that he's going to take isn't going to be that much against 94 fielding.
No, absolutely not.
Plus, you have the 84 arm strength and accuracy to make that work out. 75 reaction might be a little low, but I don't think that's going to be too bad for him.
I've used him at shortstop in 9 seasons games, and a bunch of CPU games and stuff. But those are varying levels of difficulty. The seasons is really where you can tell. And in 9 seasons games, I can't think of a single issue that I've had with him defensively where I was like, oh man, if I had, a Tulo or somebody, they would have made that play.
Yeah. And actually, what's good that I did the Rangers and now I'm doing the Twins is that I now have Brian Dozier to play second base until I end up getting that epic Ian Kinsler.
Yeah.
And I think who's the other guy for the Twins? Glenn Perkins. If you look, there are, I believe was it three? I think there's three diamond relievers, three lefty live series diamond relievers.
Yeah.
Chapman, Miller, and our good buddy Zach Britbot. I haven't checked their IE boosts, but so there's no golds, and all the silvers are usually on negative IE boosts, which is definitely why I wanted to do the Twins to get a left-handed pitcher that's going to be in my bullpen all the time.
Right.
And then to go with him, that's why I want to do the Royals next, because then I will have Soria from the right side. So I'll have two guys in my pen that are locked down that I'm probably going to have for the rest of the year, essentially, or at least months at a time.
Right.
So it'll be a nice little two-headed monster to have in there to work with.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very happy with where my team is at right now. I'm hitting the ball very well. Defensively, my team is very good. I'm already at that point. I feel like now, April 17th, I'm as comfortable with my team as I was in like August of last year. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like I wasn't comfortable with my team until like August, maybe September last year, where I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm not going to like grind my butt off to try and upgrade the team. Like I'm already happy with what I have, with the exception of, I agree, lefty bullpen arms are hard to come by, especially ones that are not impacted every day by, I mean, I have Sean Doolittle
mm-hmm.
and Tony Watson.
Yeah, I just did the A's
every day.
I just did the A's so that I can get the Sean Doolittle, and I figure that set doesn't really cost that much. So
yeah, no, this week the collections I completed the A's, the Padres, and the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. I kind of forgotten I was doing the Cardinals, and then I pulled Matt Carpenter as a post game reward, nice. And so that completed my Cardinals.
Yeah.
But yeah, lefty reliever, like I feel like righty reliever is pretty easy. Like I have Giles, and I have the Axford from the the Milwaukee collection. Sorry, who's an interesting card. And I have Seung-Hwan Oh, who already has like 24 saves for me.
Yeah, he's nasty.
But yeah, lefty's tough. It's unless you pony up the cash or get super lucky to get one of those three diamonds. Mm-hmm. It's a tough sled with the lefty relievers, and
especially because the one that I would say you should definitely have in your bullpen, Ryan. Do we figure this out? Is it Buchter or Butcher?
Ryan Butcher, I think.
Ryan Butcher. I mean, the T's in the wrong spot, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Look, lefty with an IE boost. It doesn't really matter because he's got 99 hits per 9, 99 Ks per 9. Yeah. But you can't use him because there's a bug right now in his windup that does not allow him to pitch from the stretch. So if someone gets on base, you can just take second base and gone.
Yeah, it's not good.
I actually played against the CPU. They had to do the 70 speed steal straight up on him. Like,
yeah.
I think he was standing up as the catcher's throw was coming in.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, so you can roll the dice and use him and hope nobody gets on, or hope that they don't know that he's got a bug with him. But yeah, I would definitely recommend probably just doing that, doing all the stuff in that Twins mission to get Glenn Perkins. I
think one thing I've noticed so far is the opposite of that is I don't feel like I've ever been in a situation in a game yet where I've been like, oh crap, I don't have the right lefty reliever for this. Mm-hmm. Like again, with the way people are building their lineups, because of the fact that you cannot see pitcher handedness, most people who are, working like a lot on their team have a very balanced lineup to begin with. So they're not really like, unless it's a pinch hitter for the pitcher, I haven't run into a whole lot of situations where somebody has brought in a right-handed hitting specialist in a game. I mean, it's happened once or twice where, I've been caught with Tony Watson on the mound and it's been, they bring in Giancarlo Stanton or somebody. But I feel like this year it happens a lot less frequently because you can't afford to play the platoons in your starting lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I've been doing the auto-generate rosters, like when I get on, and then work from there just to see what's up, who's got the boost and stuff that day.
Right.
But yeah, I have not had a lefty. So far, I have not had a lefty get put into that. And I don't have any gold relievers. All my relievers are silvers. So all the silver relievers that are right-handed are getting boosts up like they're gold. So
yeah,
it's kind of a problem right now.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is I mean, for those people who might have saw the article that I wrote for Hit the Pass talking about some, lower tier players who've been doing really well. Ken Giles is like an 87 every day.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
I mean, he's literally an 87 pretty much every day as a silver. Seung-Hwan Oh is a diamond pretty much every day. He's an 87, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Base 87.
But he's a 90 or a 91 pretty much every single day. So whatever it is about the right-handed relievers that getting these favorable IE boosts and the left-handed relievers not getting favorable IE boosts, I'm not sure if there's anything to read into that just yet. But yeah, it seems like you get these.
It felt like it that last year too. I don't remember if you remember Chapman and Miller. I felt were always playing down until like the end of the year. I think they actually kind of figured it out.
Yeah, until the end of the year when Miller and Chapman were the white hottest thing in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like I feel like there's some good lefties. I mean, Jerry Blevins is an underrated guy.
Yep. And I think who were we talking about today? Tony Watson.
Yeah.
And I pulled up Daddy Leagues has their IE boost history, and every day he had a negative IE boost except for the one day that I guess his team didn't play.
Yeah, and I didn't really notice, to be honest. But like I said, now that you mention that, I'm looking at Jerry Blevins, who's an 84 base player, like he's a silver. Today, he has no IE boost today. I'm assuming the Mets don't play today.
Correct.
They were
showing a game from September 29th, 2016.
Okay.
As a encore.
His history, -4, -6, -6, -4. He's minus the last 11 days in a row.
That's rough. He's been minus since the start of the season, pretty much.
Yeah. You can't tell me that Jerry Blevins has been awful against every single team that he's played against. Like I don't understand how they're working out these IE boosts for relievers. They don't really seem to make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I felt like that was a problem last year. So maybe they just have to go back in there and retool it.
Yeah.
If you're noticing, I just put what's his name? Jason Hayward in my lineup so that I can have that sweet 5 home runs to try to get Fred McGriff.
Nice. So who else have you added? Any other like non-collection players? Like any good pulls, any good rewards that you've kind of been using?
I did a 20-pack yesterday or 2 days ago, and I got some lizards. I got the lizard skin bat tape.
Oh yes, I saw that.
So that was good. I sold that for like $12,000, and that kind of helped me do some of these collections. But the only other real card that I picked up is none other than the Beast himself, the Jared Saltalamacchia that was in the ticket counter.
The GOAT.
And that card just still nasty. I've had him for what, like a day, 2 days? Hold on, let me go. I would like to see the statistics because they're already off the charts.
Yeah, he's nuts. He's currently the catcher on my BR team. He was 4 for 4 in the first game today.
I'm 12 for 24. Some of that was against the computer.
Yeah.
3 doubles, 2 homers.
I feel like even though he's got just putrid ratings against lefties, I feel like he's not that bad against lefties.
He plays against righties. I don't understand why. I mean, he plays against lefties.
Yeah.
I'm in 333 with him right now. It's fine.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, I also made my first ticket store acquisition as well.
Ooh.
In the form of Juan Marichal.
How did that go for you?
Not too bad. You know what? I was interested in him. I've really been flipping around with my 5th starter. Really been, just unable to decide on a 5th starter. I had Garrett Richards for a while, and then he had a couple rough starts in a row. I had Dave Stieb, the breakout Dave Stieb. That didn't work out. I had Carrasco, Hamels. So I thought, well, you know what? This Marichal's a nice looking card. It's a very average card across the board. And obviously the screwball, is an interesting thing. He's been pretty good for me. I haven't had any major issues. I've thrown a complete game with him in seasons already.
Ooh.
So yeah, he's pretty good. The only thing that I made note of in my video, when I reviewed the card was his curveball, slider, and changeup are all right in the same speed wheelhouse, which is a bit of a problem. There's only a couple mile an hour difference between his curveball and his slider. He has a really tight breaking curveball in the low 80s. So that's kind of defeats the purpose of having curveball slider when they're that close. I'd prefer to see a 6 or 7 mile an hour gap there. But I mean, he's again for an 85. The Marechal's a nice card. He's really good card for someone who's trying to build up their team.
Yeah, I think we're talking about Darvish and Hamels. I actually don't like Darvish as much as I like Hamels because his that 12-6 curveball he has, which is extremely nasty. Yeah. The only problem is it's too slow in this game, or at least I feel last year it was too slow. I haven't used it this year. It would be so slow that even if they were guessing fastball, they could be wrong and then still have enough time to adjust and put a good swing on the ball.
Yeah, I've used the Darvish several times. I probably could count on one hand the number of times I've thrown that curveball. Mm-hmm. But to be fair, with the one thing with Darvish is the slider cutter two seamer combination with the break that he has on those pitches. If you can control your meter, or if you happen to use analog pitching and you're very good at it, Darvish is pretty much unhittable. Yeah. You can throw the slider, you can throw the high cutter, low cutter, spot it on the corners. His two seamer has break. You don't need that 12-6 curveball. You really, really just don't need it. And I don't recommend you ever use it because similar to 16, 17, the tendency to hit curveballs out of the ballpark, no matter where you throw it, it's still there.
Strong, very strong.
It's very strong. Speaking of very strong.
Yes, speaking of very strong, Millennium, welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys?
Look at that. You show up, Chief McFly shows up. Who won the hockey game, since we assume that's what you were doing?
No, actually, it was not what I was doing. I apologize for being late. It's not over yet.
Sure.
Definitely not over.
Go.
Don't say it.
Blackhawks?
Oh, that's maybe not a good choice at this point in time.
Yeah, no. Blackhawks are currently down 2-0 in the series to the Nashville Predators. That's a one. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a 1-8 seed, right, Snaggle?
It is. Now, if NHL 17 is to be believed, the Nashville Predators are going to win the Stanley Cup according to the simulation. So,
not to get too far off track. Chief McFly, the Blues are playing some of the best hockey in the league right now. As crazy as that sounds, Tarasenko might be the best player in the league this year right now, as it stands.
My boy Jake Allen.
Jake Allen is amazing.
I'll make sure to tell him you say that when I see him this summer.
I don't have a word for conversation that riding with penalty box, so...
Yeah, I apologize for taking this show a little off. Everyone knows I am a Cavs fan, and so you're right. I am vested in what's going on right now.
Go Alexander Ovechkin.
Oh, I've got it open 3 feet to the right of the stream monitor. The hockey game is on. Don't you worry.
Ovechkin still around? Still playing?
Oh yes, he's playing okay. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you got it open 3 feet to the right because my fly is open watching it. What's going on, guys?
So, Millennium, you done anything cool recently in the show?
Actually, you know what? Because I think I'm going hardcore Team No Money this year. Mm-hmm. I've done it a year after year. I do put $10 aside every week and then buy some stuff. Exception to last year where I just bought Cal Ripken outright at the beginning of the season. So what's been really cool for me is the daily missions. You get these player epics once in a while will come in to these daily missions, and I was lucky enough on a reroll. By the way, if you have daily missions that you have not rerolled that you're not doing, reroll them if they're smaller missions that you're not going to do, because you might get a cool one like I did. I got the 92 Warren Spahn player mission. So I actually finished that up this weekend. I finished the Chris Archer rookie program this weekend. Working on the chipper one, and waiting for another event because I have an Ozzie Smith player epic, and Ozzie Smith is one of my favorite players ever. So it's going to require 2 hits on the first level with switch hitters in an event game, 1 event game. And then after that, I believe it's either 50 or 100 switch hits in event games. So I'll be playing a lot of event games once the next one comes up.
Yeah, I got the Will Clark one It was like get a couple hits in BR with breakout players, I think it was, and now I have to get another 50 hits with breakout players to get them.
Nice.
Yeah, I just double checked. Tips has not tweeted out if/when we'll get a new event. I assume we'll get more, but
I assume the events are on hold for the time being.
Yes, I would say the same thing.
Just to get back to Mill's point real quick, as I was saying earlier about how happy I am with my team already compared to last year. Yeah, I've already seen that I will be spending a lot less money on Diamond Dynasty this year than I did last year. Last year I was good for probably $10 to $15 a month. Boost up the stubs, make a few acquisitions, complete a collection here or there. Since opening day, I haven't considered spending a dime, and I don't feel like you have to. There's so many ways to earn collections and players, and with epics, player epics, team epics. The ways to play. I just feel like just get the feeling that I'm not going to spend as much as I used to because I feel like it's easier to build your team up by just playing the game.
yeah, and I feel like even Battle Royale has better rewards this year. I think I got my goal 86 Oliver Perez was like a 6-game reward.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing is, too, I think Battle Royale, it feels like you've got a better chance of getting to that upper echelon 12-0 this year. 20-0 last year, the 20-0 was the only trophy I didn't have to platinum the game. And I felt every time I went into Battle Royale, I knew I wasn't going to get to 20.
Do you think it's a coincidence that trophy's gone?
Yes. I mean, no, it's not coincidence because there is no 20-0 now. Like, it's 12-0 now, so...
But I don't think there's 12-0 trophy either.
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah.
There isn't. And I think one of the good reasons because of that is because I think all of the trophies in this are gameplay for the most part related. Or if they're not, they're easier to get to.
Yeah. It was when it was 12-0 originally last year, right? Like
No,
it wasn't.
no,
It was.
20.
Was
It
it
was always-
was it 20-0 right out of the box, or was that something
Yeah.
that they added?
It was 20
Yeah, but
then
they
updated it.
changed. But they changed the tiers last
Yes,
year.
that's
Remember?
right.
It was
It
4,
was
8, and 12.
Yes, it was always 20-0, but the reward tiers were different. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, I'm trying to remember what happened there. I'm not a huge BR person. I've dabbled into it. I think I'm on my second team now. I do feel like you get maybe a wider matchup window because there's more stuff. Like I played through a BR when events was open. I feel like it took a little bit longer to find a matchup because maybe people were spending their times in other modes. But yeah, I do like the fact that it's just a 12 win thing. I have no issues with that. I'll never get to 12 wins, but that's just me. But I beat Conquest I did not capture a single stronghold last year, and this week I beat Conquest in 2017. So
Did you actually do
Big
stuff for
wins.
the Jackie Robinson daily mission?
I did the Jackie Robinson daily mission. Yes.
Yeah, I did get my stronghold for the Chris Archer mission. I was very excited about that.
Yeah.
That's a pain. I don't like how they did that one because you just have
The
to
Chris
book it there for no reason.
Yeah, the Chris Archer one literally took me about 5 minutes to do with a fresh map. The Jackie Robinson one took a little bit longer because of having to capture the stronghold. You have to play the game. So obviously that takes 20 to 25 minutes off your time, depending on how quickly you can make it through a 3-inning game. But yeah, I did the Jackie Robinson one as well. I mean, it was just you have the nameplate and a very minimal amount of XP stubs and tickets. So,
Anything else to catch us up on, or are we ready to dive into the meat of the show?
I'm good.
No, I'm good. Go for it.
All right. What we're going to talk about tonight, guys. One of the top 2 most important parts of MLB The Show. We want to talk about hitting. A lot of people seem to have trouble hitting, getting their groove to start with. So we just kind of want to go through how we hit, give our little tips and tricks. And if you've got tips and tricks, let us know in the chat room. We'll discuss those as well. Does anybody want to kick it off, or do we just want to let me go with my stupid thing and then we can work from there?
No, go ahead.
First off, let's just recap the settings we're using. Personally, I use the zone hitting interface with buttons and the wedge PCI. I like to see that a little because it's me and Snaggle both like the wedge PCI because it's not very intrusive. It just gives you like the outline, so you're kind of good there. And also, I use the offset zoom camera when hitting. I like that. It's not too far back. I found that if it was too far back, I couldn't pick up fastball changeup, and I would lose a little bit of that depth perception on picking up stuff like that. And also because the stuff I was using before was really low, I really couldn't pick that up. But then I felt like the stuff like the strike zone, I was too far up, so I really couldn't pick up the break on balls. So the offset zoom is kind of a nice middle ground where I can pick up the depth for the speed variations and also get the ups and downs on the break and stuff.
Yeah, that was. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to jump in while you're talking about cameras. That was one thing I noticed when people were discussing it in the Discord today. Is people seem to be just discussing fisheye and strike zone as if those are your only two options. Offset zoom is I feel is a very good camera for people who think strike zone is just a little bit too close. There are more cameras than fisheye and strike zone,
and more than offset zoom. I think you can even do like a custom camera if you want, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, those are all viable options. Millennium, what are you doing?
I was starting on fisheye, which is where I normally start each year. And then I was suggested by a user in my stream, I believe it was Shoop. Shoop, baby, Shoop. Yes. I know. We all did it. Come on.
Nope,
we all did it in our heads. Yeah. Anyway.
I was thinking it.
Yeah, he suggested me wide, which is something I hadn't used before. Last year I ended up using catcher high, but this year I really like wide. I'm seeing pitches better. It's helping me. It's helping me see low and high pitches and breaks on pitches a lot easier. And it's not something I thought I'd be able to do. The other thing I would say for great practice. Okay, good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, with the wide, do you have any problems picking up fastball changeup? Because that was my big thing. I couldn't see. I was swinging over the top of all the changeups last year when I was using something like this.
Changeups a little bit. Circle changes not as much. The straight changes are a weak point to it. But fastballs, I'm on top of. Like I'm pulling more fastballs than ever, and I think that is kind of half the camera and half this year's game. I think it's easier to be early on fastballs this year.
Yeah, I feel like, and maybe this is just perception on my part, but I feel like when you're playing online head-to-head at the all-star level, that the pitch speed is dialed down just a bit from last year. I feel like I've had a much easier job refining my eye to take close pitches, been able to tell the difference between fastball, changeup. I am a significantly better hitter in this game than I was in last game, and I was playing the last game up until this game came out. I just feel like, and again, I could be wrong, but I feel like the pitch speed at the all-star level is toned down a little bit this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard other people say that. I just, like, I went back and played 16 on All-Star. Now, this was offline, not online.
Right.
It seems similar. It just seems like it's easier to hit. And I don't think it's the pitch speed. What I will say is I'm starting very slowly to move into the camp where I feel like online play should possibly get moved up to Hall of Fame.
It does when you... Or I don't know this year. Does it move up when you're higher in seasons?
For head-to-head seasons, but it doesn't for Battle Royale. When you get to like 9-0, 10-0 in Battle Royale, it's still All-Star. And I think one of the problems a lot of people are having is the extra power this year, especially opposite field. It seems like it's a little easier to go opposite field power.
Yeah.
I think some of that is a tune they have to do in the game. But I also think some of that is I guess the PCI and a little easier to hit on All-Star. I'd really like to see them bump it up for Hall of Fame for like a week.
And see what happens.
Exactly. Kind of like, what was it, Madden? Did Madden do that at one point? Or it was some game that moved a mode from like a mid-level to an upper echelon just to try it out for a week, and they bounced it back and forth. And then eventually had lobbies that went back and forth on difficulties. So
maybe Draft Champs might have done that?
There is a very easy way they could test that, and it's have a Hall of Fame difficulty event.
That would be interesting.
And get feedback based off of. I would love to see them have a Hall of Fame difficulty hitting and pitching event. And the thing is, you and I, well, the three of us know there would be lots of complaining about it, that they're not making it accessible to the casual fan and blah blah blah. But as a 7-day test case on using Hall of Fame difficulty for head-to-head online, I think that's they have the avenue there to make it happen.
Hold on one second. I just want to see. You can't put hot zone on here. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of options right there. I know. I bring it up all the time. Pro Baseball Spirits, the old Konami game, they had like all the settings were like you could do individually. They had a setting where for pitch speed it was just real, and pitches were coming in real fast.
I remember that. Yeah, because like it was almost impossible to play, but it was one of those things where it was really fun to experience what real pitch speed would be.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our thoughts on cameras and stuff like that. And we all use Zone. I know you turn off the PCI, right, Millennium?
Yeah, I turn off the PCI just because it distracts me during the game. I know a lot of people like to have it on there, and I also turn off when I play offline. I turn off the strike zone too. Again, just because I feel like I get a better view of the strike zone, as crazy as that sounds. And I'm seeing a lot of guys in the chat saying, like Yield Tonk uses custom wide with an offset. I mean, I think one of the best things you can do if you're not using strike zone, because I'll fully admit I think strike zone is probably one of the best cameras. I just don't. It's a personal preference. I don't like not seeing the guy.
Yeah, and I couldn't pick up low pitches there. Like I was swinging at a lot of changeups in the dirt.
Yeah, so I would say that you want to have a little bit of an offset. I don't think you want to have it too pronounced because then you get into remember MVP baseball when you batted lefty against righty, you had like an offset so you could see pitches better.
Yeah.
Like it was like a built-in lefty versus righty advantage.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. This year, I think the lefty-righty advantage is already built into the game, so I don't think that's necessary. Yeah. But having offset will allow you to see breaks a little better as well.
Yeah, and I feel like looking at my hitting tips notes, the big thing about it is, if you're struggling with hitting, maybe the camera is your problem. Yeah. That's something that you can do before you start tweaking your lineup and worrying about power swing, contact swing, normal swing, and all that stuff. Hitting the camera that you're using could be your problem. That is definitely something that is an off the field thing that you can look at, change it up. And the thing is, don't just change it up for one game. Change it up for a few games. Play an online game, play a CPU game. Don't just put it for 2 innings and be like, oh, I can't hit that with that camera.
Yeah, make sure you have your game mode enabled if you're playing on a TV.
Yes.
And you don't have that crazy delay. I hope you figured that out before me telling you that.
And if you have one, I know a lot of people don't like this. Play on a monitor.
Yeah.
Play on a low lag 1 millisecond monitor, and you will see your game take it to the next level. Game looks gorgeous on a 4K TV, but if you play on a big screen TV, you are at a disadvantage against top tier players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to using the PCI, so what happened was, back in the day, I used to rely on guess pitch all the time. And guess what? That was literally the worst thing I could possibly do. Agreed? Did we all agree on that? Broncos rule, this is just batting practice mode. I used to use guess pitch all the time. I would guess low and fastball, and if I didn't get it, I would be confused and not have any idea where the pitch is going to be.
Right.
So what I ended up doing was switching over to using the PCI more. And specifically, now I was just looking low and in. My recommendation is that you look in one spot. I don't care which spot you use. If you want to look up and in so that you can get those high fastballs that everybody's going to try to strike you out with, you can do that. Bronco, sorry. Game mode on your television. If you have, it'll remove the input lag and any post-processing your TV does. So what I do is I put the PCI low and in, and then I just try to pretend like the rest of the zone doesn't exist, as long as there's not 2 strikes.
Yeah.
So if I'm down here, everything up, I know I'm just going to foul off if I even try to get up there. And away, I kind of give up the low and away pitch because I'm looking low and in, but I could get to the away pitch and foul it off if I needed to, or shoot something the other way. But yeah, I look low and away, and I pretty much try to just keep it there the whole time. Especially when you're playing against humans, I feel like they're almost always going to throw you one there at some point in the at-bat. Except for me, because now I'm so used to myself hitting that I pitch against myself, even if I'm not the one batting, so it's really weird. With the with the wedge PCI, I put the dot of the wedge kind of like where the bottom left zone, the top corner would be, like right in this area right here. Yeah, I try to I try to take everything else out, because I always noticed the problem was, you start with the PCI in the middle. Where is the last pitch? Where's the last place a pitch is going to be thrown? Right down the middle of the plate, right? So no matter what you're doing with the PCI in the middle, you have to move. You're either moving up and left, you're moving up and right, you're moving down and right, down and left. So I figured, why don't I just take this whole spot of the batting area, I guess, of the strike zone. I just take it away. If you're going to come low and into me, I'm going to crush it. If it's low and away, I'll probably fight it off, and I'll shoot it down the right field line. I'll get lucky. If it's up, I'll usually give it away, because what am I going to do? Moving my PCI up that high, all I'm going to do is pop it up.
Yeah.
So that's essentially how I play. I mean, I did a video on Operation Sports a few years ago about it, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, if you just look low and in all the time, they're just going to pitch you in other spots." It's like, yes, it's called making adjustments. Like,
yeah. So last year when I was struggling, I was in a bad slump at the plate, and this was before I was on Bullpen Banter and all that. And I remember I tweeted at you asking if you had any tips, and I had watched the episode that you and Millennium had done about hitting tips, and you sent me the link to the video that you did in 14 about the low and in, and I did that, and it was magically successful. Now I've gotten away from doing that. I don't look low and in anymore, mostly because I've gotten better at controlling the PCI. But it is still something I will go back to if I'm struggling in a game, or if I have a bad couple games in a row. I will go back to that low and in approach. It's not something I use all the time anymore, just because I've gotten better at being a little quicker. But yeah, it's a fantastic. I mean, it's and I believe all of us are have or still play baseball or softball or some form of ball sport in real life, and that's what you have to do. You have to narrow your focus. You don't go up there and thinking, well, I need to protect the whole strike zone until you have two strikes. It's a real life approach.
Yeah. One other thing is, it works. I feel like the low and in works extremely well if you're facing opposite-handed pitchers. So if you're facing a righty as a lefty and you look low and in, you got to remember, all the curveballs, all the sliders, all the cutters, they're all going to break that way. So you're going to have a little bit of a bonus there. Same with a lefty pitcher and a righty hitter. The only time I'm not looking low and in is usually lefty-lefty, because just personally for me, that's a really tough matchup. And I feel like a lot of pitchers will throw low and away in a lefty-lefty matchup. So I just kind of work that, and then I try to do that literally.
Well, in the
I just try to flip it over the third baseman head.
Well, in the lefty-lefty matchup, and I think kind of in the righty-righty too, I mean, you're looking... The difference in playing head-to-head and playing the computer is the difference in playing real baseball and playing video game baseball, because people online are still going to rely on a couple of pitches. They're always going to go back to the old, the ones that always work. High inside fastball, where they're going to try to strike you out a lot of the time, or low and away junk, or just low junk in general. And like you said, if you're facing lefty-righty or righty-righty, righty-lefty, most of that break is going to come in, and they know that they're not going to be able to backdoor you on a lot of pitches, because those backdoor pitches have a tendency to fly. So I would
just miss. I feel like they miss a lot more than they hit.
Yeah, it's very hard to hit a backdoor pitch as a pitcher, unless again you're using analog pitching. which is why I think everyone that wants to play on head-to-head should owe it to themselves to try to get analog pitching down at some point, because that's where you get the most bonus and take the most ratings in terms of control out of the computer's hands and put it in your hands. Mm-hmm. But again, when you're playing a human, you're not. It's like you're in real baseball. Every batter gets a different strategy put against him. But in MLB The Show, you're pretty much the same mind for 9 hitters. So you're not going to get a different strategy for most of the time. Now,
and that's a good way to differentiate yourself from the rest of the crowd.
Right.
A lot of guys are just going to pump the same stuff and not mix up pitches and stuff. Like, one of the things that I found to be the most effective is doing out-of-the-box things, like throwing the same pitch 3 times in a row. You will rarely see that online, and thus people are not looking for that, and will be prone to getting out because of that.
I take very good pride in my pitch selection and how I approach opposing hitters, and not patting myself on the back, but I pitch very well online because I think outside the box. It's not just high fastball and low junk. As ridiculous as it sounds, hanging a changeup in the upper half of the strike zone, while it seems like a really bad idea, and occasionally you are going to pay for it, is not something opposing hitters are looking for.
Yeah, especially when they're so used to that high fastball.
Yeah.
You might be able, if you're having a tough time getting someone out, you might be able to sneak it by them.
It's baseball, the hitting pitcher interface is all about anticipation and patterns. If you figure out the pattern of your opponent and you're able to anticipate well with what they're throwing, you're going to win more often than not. That's what it comes down to. If you can guess the right spot and the right pitches more than he can, then you're going to win. That's how it works. Yeah,
something I've noticed that seems to surprise a lot of people. I don't know if I'm good at anticipating pitches or some people are really bad at pitching, that there will be times I'm streaming and I'm like, this guy's going to throw a high fastball right now. Throws a high fastball and I hit it a mile. But a lot of people online telegraph their pitch styles. Like, if they get 2 strikes, there's guys that will always go for the high heat. And if you can pick that up on someone, that's going to give you a huge advantage. That is one of the reasons I don't really love Battle Royale, because sometimes it'll take you that one time through the order just to figure out what they're doing. Yeah. And with the switching of pitchers so much in that, you need to learn that real quick to have a good at bat. But
yeah,
I like to be able to read the pitcher, anticipate what he's going to do, and that, again, not if I anticipate that he's going to throw low and away, I'm not going to look low and inside and try to pull one.
No.
Well, and not to get too far away from the pitching or away from the hitting, because I know we'll get into pitching at some point too. But you really want to screw with a batter, start using your shifts, because this is gonna be a little bit of a pro tip for hitting. Know what your hitter's tendencies are, because if your hitter is an extreme pull hitter, or just even a pull hitter, your timing is different than somebody who's balanced. Yeah. So your timing window for hitting the ball, you get a power bonus if you swing early on a fastball. Where you get your center green that everyone talks about. If you're an extreme pull hitter, if you pull the ball, then you will have a better timing. You get a good or a perfect timing, as opposed to if you go to like right center, and you'll get a power boost too. So definitely you want to take into account when you set your lineups up what your guys are, if they're balanced, pull, or extreme.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people leave their shifts on auto, but then don't pitch to them.
Yeah.
So again, with the lefty-lefty matchup, if I have a big power lefty bat and they have a good lefty pitcher up, but their defense is shifting him and they're not paying attention and they still pitch me low and away, it's real easy to just slap a double down the third base line. But I always end up hitting it to the third baseman who's standing there. It's very upsetting, but
yes, that's that's definitely that. I have that in big bold letters in front of me. Pay attention to the defense. You should always, as a hitter, look at the defense, and not just for shifts. Left, right. Look in and out. If you have a runner at third and the defense is not playing in, maybe that's a good time to drop down to a contact swing and just try to hit a ground ball and pick up that run. If the outfield is playing deep because you have one of your power hitters at the plate, you need to know that, because if you hit a little flare, you might be able to pick up an extra base. If you want to become a better hitter, paying attention to where the defense is at and knowing what that can do, if you put the ball in a certain spot, is if you want to, get to the World Series in seasons and get that Goldschmidt, you need to be looking at the defense every single play.
And don't forget, if people are using auto shift, you just mentioned the outfielders being deep. The outfielders are deep by default on people with high power.
Yep.
So like if you have Mark Trumbo, those are the guys where if you want to go for a home run, you can, but your better bet might be just using regular, or if you really need a base hit, go in contact swing.
Yeah, I think I use normal swing 99% of the time. Yeah. Every once in a while, on like an 0-2, 2-0, 3-0 count, I'll go power, knowing that I'm going to pop it up to the second baseman. But yeah, definitely with 2 strikes. Depending on the hitter, if it's someone with high contact or even my pitcher or something, I will switch to contact, and I will be willing to just flare one at someone and make them make a play.
Yeah. It's especially if you're playing against a team that they have some poor defenders in the field. Again, that's paying attention to the defense. If you have if someone's playing D. Gordon at third base because they want D. Gordon's speed in the lineup, using contact swing and hitting a little dribbler down the third baseline, chances are if you have a guy with half decent speed, you're going to beat it out.
Yeah,
knowing the situations.
And if you see Kenny Lofton or Johnny Damon in the outfield, take an extra base. Don't waste your time. Just take an extra base.
Don't ever stop, ever.
What else? Anything else that we could think of with hitting?
Digital KLB, I want to respond to that. He says that when it takes a while, it means they're aiming for a corner.
Or they're checking their chat.
Well, yeah, be very careful with that though, because when you get into the higher end players will be change their cadence just to change their cadence. Like you won't get that rapid fire pitching. And higher end players like me, it takes me less. It really doesn't take me that much different of time to pitch to the corners.
Yeah,
because normally I'm pitching to the corners every time.
How often are you just leaving it and throwing it? I don't even throw down the middle 3-0. I mean, it's that's not a real good indicator on whether someone is throwing towards the corners,
especially from the stretch and stuff.
Yes,
because you need to be varying up your times from there anyway.
Yeah, I know. Like one thing I'll do to mess with hitters, again, not to talk too much about the pitching stuff, but if I have Darvish or Carrasco, somebody who throws exclusively from the stretch, I'll just randomly slide step, nobody on base. Well, just to put something else in the hitter's head. Yeah. So one thing that I always see people do way too often online is don't be afraid to take a strike. If
take one, take two.
Yeah, you get 3 for a reason. If you're looking low and in, and the guy throws you a fastball up and away, don't try to get your PCI there and take a cut on the first pitch.
All you're going to do is hit a pop fly that you didn't want to hit anyway.
You're literally doing yourself nothing but harm by swinging at a pitch that is not where you're looking for it. Again, with 2 strikes, you got to be swinging at everything. You got to protect. That's baseball. But when it's 0-0, 1-0, even more so when it's 2-0 and 3-0, if that ball's not where you're looking for it, don't swing. There is no shame in taking a strike. It helps you get timing of certain pitches. It helps you build. The more pitches you see, the more data you have to build a pattern case against your opponent.
Yeah, I would almost say whenever they bring in a reliever, don't swing at that first pitch. Learn their rotation, learn their windup, and take a pitch or two. You know what? Look, it is extremely hard for me to take a pitch. So much so that I literally just have to put the control down sometimes. Oh, that was terrible. Curveballs fly out of the park. But yeah, sometimes, like if I'm streaming, you will see me literally put the controller down, put my hands up.
Yeah.
So I cannot even attempt to swing.
Yeah, and the other thing that I do to go along with that is when I get into an online game, the first thing I do is I look at the opponent's bullpen and see what they have. So if they have, you know, I'm just first diamond pops in my head. If they had Doug Drabeck, for example, and you know Doug Drabeck's a good pitcher and you're going to struggle, and you look at their bullpen and they've got a bunch of bronzes and silvers, working the count and making him throw extra pitches is the best thing that you can do for yourself. You know, make Doug Drabeck work, make him tired, make them go to the bullpen. Mm-hmm. It's applying real life strategies, you know, that work in this game. It's taking pitches, it's building a pattern case, and it's just making your opponent work.
Yeah, and definitely in VR, take pitches.
Yes.
Wear those guys out. A lot of people are swinging at the first pitch. If you can wear them down, get them to that bullpen, because you know what, their starter's probably not that good. So if you can get him to keep the starter in for an extra batter, you might have a chance to jump on him there. If you can get into that bullpen after 2 or 3 guys, they're probably not that deep. So jump on them there. Taking pitches is never a bad thing, unless you take 2 strikes and get yourself out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Mel?
Nope, I am good. I think that pretty much covers everything. I can't think of anything else that I do in terms of hitting tips. Like, I do kind of like what you guys do. I look at a spot, but I don't guess pitch.
Yeah.
So, and
I'm definitely never guessing pitch when I'm looking in the zone.
Yeah, and the other thing is too is like you said, just it's so important to take pitches this year. Online and offline. Offline is, and we all know that I play a little bit more offline than I play online. The offline computer, especially on Hall of Fame, is just so tough, and they do not like to give in. One of my pet peeves in past years is 3-0. You might get a fastball down the middle, but you got them a little too often for my taste last year, and this year it just really seems like they don't want to do that, which I'm very happy about, but that also leads to more walks.
I felt like even on veteran, in some of these like versus CPU games, I was getting walks, which is something that we did not see at all last year.
I agree, and that is one of those things for you guys that have walking missions where you need walks. Conquest versus CPU, put it on veteran or even all-star, and just be patient.
Yeah,
very patient.
I feel like I've taken more walks already this year than I probably took all of last year. And just, again, playing, especially in franchise, I've been playing my franchise games on All-Star, and yeah, the way the computer approaches at-bats is definitely different. And the thing is that you'll notice a difference as well with the different tier of pitchers. You know, guys, you know, diamond level cards in offline play, they will not give in to you. They just won't. They have the stuff to get you out, and they will do their best to get you out. Whereas, you know, with a bronze card, they 3-0, they're probably a little more likely to give you a bit of a meatball.
You guys feel like home runs are up a bit online?
Yes.
Just saying, because it's the top of the second, and there's been 5 home runs already.
I think so. I think in general they're up. I said earlier. I think that it is the distance on home runs is up. But I think opposite field power shows the worst. Like, I think that is the biggest offender.
Yeah, I just had a bomb with Jason Hayward that was like upper deck, which probably should not have been a thing.
Right. So, I mean, and you're seeing upper deck bombs, and I think part of that is the new ball physics. Something they weren't expecting, maybe, out of that. But I know for a fact that is a question they have asked people. I know the power question has come up, so look for that to maybe be tuned at some point.
Yeah, I
I would
definitely
like to
think
see that.
it's. I definitely think it's something that it seems to be a little increase, and yeah, the oppo power is definitely noticeable.
Yeah, I had a game last night where I could not get in front of a pitch, but I scored 9 runs, essentially all on opposite field hits.
So if you guys are out of hitting tips, I have two more small ones that I just want to mention real quick.
Jimmy M.
So the first one is not an on the field hitting tip, but it definitely plays into it. Is don't be afraid to change out your lineup, mix up your lineup a little bit. If you're struggling with, for example, players with, and this could be just a mental thing, but some people struggle with players with two-handed follow-throughs, for example.
I can't hit with Mike Trout.
Yeah.
No reason for me to ever get with him. I cannot hit with him.
Yeah, and I just feel like sometimes people put too much into the ratings of players. Oh, this guy's got major wicket hitting ratings. I'm going to dominate with him. And you get out there and you struggle. Maybe it's just the way his stance. Maybe he has a weird hitch in his swing that just messes you up visually. So that's my one thing I always mention to people is don't be afraid to try somebody else. If you have a guy and he's just not working out for you, try somebody else.
And with that, if it's somebody that you really want to use, what I did last year was I had a Road to the Show save that was a hitter. All he did was hit, and all I used him for was using different batting stances. Like
As a practice.
Could not hit with too low at the start of the year. Made it my Road to the Show guy. Did a little bit of that behind the scenes, and then I started raking with too low when I came back into Diamond Dynasty.
Yeah, I know people last year who could not hit with Ted Williams. Just couldn't do it. It was something about his two-handed swing, and it just seemed a little quicker than the rest, and couldn't hit with him. And I absolutely dominated with him. Just one of those things. And the other thing to go along with that is don't get discouraged when you're struggling at the plate. I see a lot of people who will tweet at me or who will post in the Discord. They have one bad game. They get 2 hit in one game, and immediately, I can't hit in 17. You're going to run into people online who know how to pitch.
And there are people out there that are better than you. So
yeah,
don't worry about it.
I've matched up in seasons. My rating in seasons is in the 500s right now. I've matched up with people who are in the 200s, and I've just dominated them. And you know what? That's going to happen. You're going to lose games. You're going to get, you're going to run up against someone who really knows how to control the zone and who's just pulling all the right strings. Don't get discouraged based on one game. Just keep at it, and you'll get it.
I mean, even if you have to foul off 20 pitches, even if you foul off 20 pitches and strike out, you've still gotten 20 pitches out of the guy.
Exactly.
Sometimes, I'll do that with just my pitcher. I will just use contact swing, and I will essentially just try to foul off pitches and get them more now.
He'll step in to lead it off in the top of the third.
Do you want to hop into that mailbag? I think we had a couple.
We do have a couple of mailbag questions this week. One second, I'm on my way there.
Is it a male MAIL bag, or is it a male MALE bag that this Snaggle is dipping into there?
This isn't that kind of show, Millennium. This is for the kids.
You can send all those emails to bullpenbanter at hotmale.com.
Yes,
Hotmail.com.
Okay, so
speaking of Hotmail, TJ with that shaven, scorn face as we go, neatly shorn.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this one first because it's related to the topic. Sep1 wants to know if we have any tips to learning to recognize different pitches. He seems to be swinging too late on fastballs and too early on junk.
I think that's again, change the camera angle. Try that out to start with. But I think that's just a thing. I would say go into that practice mode that I was just in and just watch pitches. Just watch them.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds really boring, and I would probably never do that because I'd probably kill myself. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to get it without the repetition.
Yeah, pattern recognition would be the only other thing I would suggest. I mean, other than just playing the game and getting used to how people pitch and how certain pitches break and the timing of them, just try to pick up the pattern. Maybe the guy throws you a first pitch changeup, every single at bat. There are people who do that online. It happens.
But it's a good trick. The one thing I always remembered from watching This Week in Madden, 90% of Madden players, first play of the game, they're going to run a run to the right.
Yeah.
And in MLB, a lot of people just throw a fastball first pitch. And if you're facing one of those people, just hit it a mile, get that one zip lead, and not even worry about it. Yeah. That's why when you're pitching, I think you always got to be mixing up stuff. I feel like I don't even use a fastball as much as I should.
Knuckle curve down below the knee.
I don't remember what we're talking about. Continue.
Just recognizing different pitches. Millennium, do you have any special tips for recognizing the difference between fastball and junk?
Also, let me say one thing. Look at what pitches they have.
Yeah.
That's very important. I whenever a new pitcher comes in, look at what they have. Maybe they have two fastballs and a slider. So if it's coming in, I mean, you know what it's going to be.
Thank you, Millennium. Now, real Millennium?
So one of the things that I've used, and I've used this for a couple of years, is when you're batting, no matter what camera you use, focus on the release point of the pitch. Don't watch the pitchers wind up. Don't look around the screen. Figure out where the pitcher releases the ball and stare there. Like put your blinders on. Just stare at that spot. If you can tell, you'll start to see is the trajectory of pitches from that spot, and you'll start to see, okay, well, a curveball I know goes up and to the, if it's a right-handed pitcher, curveball will start off going up and to the left on the screen. A fastball will come out at me. Like a changeup will come out at me and a little to the side. A slider will come up, will go straight left and come back. You'll start to see trajectories of specific pitches, and because so many pitchers in the show release from different points, you have to start this in the first inning, and it's very important that in the first inning you take a couple pitches so you can understand that. Breaks in the show are not universal. A curveball from a guy throwing at 11 o'clock will break differently from a curveball from a guy throwing at 10 o'clock. From a guy throwing at 10:30, like all of those spots on that right-handed pitcher, they all break a little differently. Plus, you take, whatever the break rating on the pitch is. So it's very important to watch that trajectory out of a pitcher's hand and not get caught up in the wind-up so you're not looking at that. The earlier you can pick up trajectory, the earlier you will tell what pitch it is, and the better you'll be at hitting time.
Was when Millennium was talking about the break on the curveball being down and to the right, was anyone else thinking of the episode of Seinfeld when Keith Hernandez spit on Kramer when he was talking about going back and to the left, or was it just me?
I was thinking of JFK because that's what the reference is.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Just think of the Seinfeld episode. Okay, other mailbag question. This is a little different, and I know we kind of had an offline discussion. Do you have a problem with a versus CPU mission not being able to be completed in seasons mode? I mean,
no.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, no, it's just no.
Why?
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on.
It's
do I have a problem with it? That's fine.
self-explanatory.
You know what? Fine. Then make all the ranked season modes. Let me play them against the computer.
Yeah.
That would be kind of nice for that.
The thing is if the one caveat where the only way I would ever agree with this would be if the play versus CPU had no point. And that's not the case. Play versus CPU is huge point. It's directly tied into all of the epics, and a lot of different missions have a play versus CPU component. So you have to keep it separate. That makes absolutely no sense. See, I understand some people's perspectives that there is too many different ways to do missions. You have one mission where it'll be, get 8 hits in Conquest, or get 20 hits in events, or get 30 hits in ranked seasons. You can complain about that all you want. I think it's great. Everybody last year complained they wanted more ways to play Diamond Dynasty. You got your ways to play Diamond Dynasty. Don't start complaining that there's missions specific to those ways. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. As much as you want to, you can't.
Yeah, and the idea is that they want you playing Diamond Dynasty all sorts of different ways. I said it on Twitter that Madden Ultimate Team feels like they want you to play one way. There's like five different ways, but you can only really focus on one way if you want to have any success. But the show wants you to try everything and see what you like. Play versus CPU, play versus friends, and they're going to reward you for each of those ways. So I feel like if you're going to have it that way, then if that's a problem, I feel like you should then have all the rewards be play versus CPU or play versus human. So even the stuff that's like get 20 hits against humans, you should be able to get in the CPU because you want to keep it fair. They're trying to help the people that don't want to play online.
Well, and my thing is, I haven't even tried events. I didn't like the way the first event was set up. I was busy doing other things. I just didn't have the time for it. Did I have missions I missed out on because I didn't participate in the events? Absolutely. But that was a conscious choice that I made. I'm not sitting here complaining that I had events missions that I couldn't complete. I had the option to complete them. I don't understand the perspective of people that they just want to play the game in whatever generic way they want and have everything count for everything. It's the other part of it is they're trying to differentiate the teams that you see online. You know, one big complaint from last year was that everybody had the same team by August. Well, that's not going to be the case this year because there's so many different cards you can get and so many different ways you can get them, and everybody is taking a different path. And that's because we have a variety of modes and we have rewards that are tied to those specific modes. I haven't found anybody who has complained that, you know, oh, there's you know, there's it's too easy to complete missions. There's not enough to do.
Yeah, and I agree because, again, like Snaggle said, you don't have to do specific missions. And I agree, FSU 2014 says the one thing that we will say in terms of this are event missions when there's no event readily available. Obviously, they were doing event missions with the idea that events would, number one, be available, and we all know that they're not available right now due to servers.
Yes.
I feel like they shouldn't even pop up when there's not an event active.
Well, I don't think the thing is, I don't think they can filter those.
Probably
unfortunately, not. Yeah, I think the problem is that those daily events, as I think Tip said before release, there's like 200 in the pool for daily missions, and some of them are player epics. Like I said, I have an Aussie one for I have an Ozzie Smith that is event based. Well, they're not going to change that mission. And they're not going to take Ozzie Smith out of the mission pool, so
just flip it over to BR.
Yeah, I really do think that if the servers were not an issue at this point, there would probably be a current event right now. I really feel like it was, you know, again, I have no inside information on that. That's just my gut feeling.
Are you sure?
But I feel pretty confident in saying that if the servers were working fine, there would have been an event this week. And I also feel like it was a fantastic decision by Sony San Diego, if they did make it, to cancel said event and try to keep that, you know, that server load for other things. But it's, again, it's, you can't complain about, you can complain about the servers all you want. You can't complain about the way that they've structured Diamond Dynasty. Whether it's working or not right now, that's not the discussion we're having. It's, you know, the way things are structured with doing certain things in certain situations and playing the game a certain way. You know, it really makes you sit down and game plan, okay, who do I want? I have X amount of hours today to play this game. What do I want to achieve? Do I want to get ranked up in seasons? Do I want to try and run through a 12-0 BR? Do I want to grind towards player X or player Y? And I love that aspect of it. I love, having a game plan on what I want to do, and not just sitting down and how am I going to waste my time playing Diamond Dynasty today? Because all of us on here, we're all grown-ups. We have jobs, and
Speak for yourself.
I don't have a job. That's right.
No, I wasn't even talking about
That's
that. I wasn't a grown up, but okay.
Good point. But I don't if I get a 2 to 3 hour span to play in the evening, that's a good day. So, I'm not going to be one of them guys that's going to have, I don't have an all diamond team. I don't have the time to grind for that. So yeah, you have to be constructive with how you play the game, and I'm perfectly fine with that, about planning my time certain ways.
Get that notebook out. Start writing down collections you can do.
Yeah.
Get to work.
Pretty much. I have 6 or 7 collections done, I think, already.
And just to respond to Digital KLB in the chat about you completed a certain amount of dailies, but you don't have any player epics. It's the same thing with pulling a diamond, dude. They're random. They're random draws. There's no like diamond draw in this game is, and TJ will be the first one to tell you. That's Sports Gamer will tell you, the first one to tell you how upsetting not pulling a diamond will be.
I think I'm at like 3. I wish they had like a thing to look at. I wish they had a DD rewards page, like what rewards. But I think I got to be at 250, 300.
So, and diamonds are less than 1% for pull, and that doesn't, just because you've pulled 100 packs doesn't mean your percentage goes up. It's every pack is less than 1% pull. So
yeah,
it's the same thing with player epics. You're getting it's completely randomized. No matter how many dailies you finish, you're getting randomized. And that pool of 200 missions may be bigger by now, by the way.
Yeah, I think they said they were adding stuff to it as they go.
Yeah.
So they're going to be adding player epics for that pool too. So
yeah, I've dedicatedly re-rolled my daily missions every day. The only player epic I have received was the rookie Jose Altuve, which was excruciatingly easy to do. But yeah, and again, I've seen people who have, Millennium, you've got the Spawn. I've seen people pull all kinds of wonderful daily epics. The 93 Kinsler seems to be a popular one.
I think Aheg said he had 5 player epics missions.
Yes. Again, it's you know what it is, right? All the YouTubers get the player epics. That's how it works. That's how YouTubers get the juice packs, and they get the player epics, obviously.
Well, always remember that when someone gets a player epic mission, you're going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they're gonna put it on Twitter. They're gonna go to one of us or one of the other big time Twitch users or YouTubers and go, look what I just did. It's gonna get retweeted all over the place. When people just pull random daily missions, like imagine if everyone tweeted their random daily missions.
Oh man, beat the Blue Jays on veteran today. Let's go.
I think I had one today that was 10 at bats in a conquest game by Giants players, and it was for like 100 stubs and 250 XP.
You did it, didn't you?
He went and redrafted and got all Giants players.
Digital. What I'm saying though is that it's not about only one diamond or only one player epic. It's random. It doesn't matter if you have 0 or Ahegs. Like I said, Ahegs has 5. Like that's just what it is. Like different people have different numbers.
Yeah. I don't honestly. Not in any kind of harsh way, but I have zero tolerance for people who think that the game is out to get them because they haven't pulled this X or this Y.
The game is out to get me because I've pulled 2 diamonds, and they've both been equipment that I've sold for a combined 15,000 subs.
I have opened...
The game hates me, Snaggle.
I have opened 130 packs.
That's it?
Not including Conquest and program packs, which I've opened a bunch. Bro, I have pulled 0 diamonds.
Think about it this
including equipment.
Go ahead.
0.
Charlie Bucket ripped one Wonka bar. Got the golden
it was
ticket.
2, right?
It was 2, right?
Did he 2? Yeah, he found $1 for another one.
Right, he got the one from his grandpa, then he got the one himself.
By the way, Rebecca in chat, and I will say this to anybody. If you tweet me your random daily missions, I will retweet them like you just pulled freaking Mike Trout.
Absolutely.
If you do that for like the next week, I will retweet random daily missions. Like you have just pulled the hottest fire in the world.
Hot fire.
Yeah, who's that Peralta pitcher, the 45 guy that people keep retweeting? I think he's from Reds. Willie Peralta, maybe? No,
Yeah,
that's Wandy Peralta. He's like a 45 common. I see people tweeting it out when they pull him in packs, like it's like it's a thing. And I mean, I think I'm already to the point in the season where if I had 20,000 stubs, the last thing I'm buying is a 20-pack bundle.
Yeah.
I feel like the market has calmed down enough where you can, play it and pick up some players and complete collections. Now, I feel like I have no use other than, testing out packs for scientific purposes. Like when they come out with special packs and stuff, I really have no use for them.
Yeah, I don't mind those bases loaded packs as long as there's like something good in it. Don't guarantee me like a stadium. Like when they start guaranteeing legends, I will probably go ham on those.
Yeah, and then you'll end up with 16 rookie Paul Konerkos.
FSU 2014 in the chat. The real question is why have you guys pulled that many packs instead of just buying guys off the market? FSU, I'm going to put it to you like this.
Got to risk it for the biscuit. That's why you got
ever gone to a casino?
Yeah.
Why do these people go to casinos?
Like, exactly. It's not the idea of, yes, you could buy any players you wanted. It's the idea of when you pull that player, when you pull that hot fire out of that pack and you get to tweet it, it is one of the better feelings playing this game. Yes, there are a ton of gameplay things you can do, but for guys that play Diamond Dynasty, like when I pulled Mike Trout, all right, TJ, when I pulled Mike Trout last year after a random bullpen banter
Literally
episode,
like right as we went off the air, right?
Yeah, off a free pack. Like I didn't buy the pack; it was a free pack, and I bought a ton of packs last year. Like it was all I could do to tweet it out. Like not just I was just that excited about it. It's like pulling the handle on the slot machine and getting 9 cherries across it and just watch the jackpot fall on top of you. It's just amazing.
I will answer that a different way then, because I do agree with it's a lottery type thing. It's a rush, but I opened all those packs in the first week, and there was 2 factors at play. First of all, in the first week, the market is absolute trash. You don't want to be buying anything off the market the first week.
But if you get something hot,
if you get something hot, you can sell it on the market and make a fortune. But you're not out, trying to grind golds on the market in the first week of the game. And honestly, I have no problem admitting I wanted the content in the first week because, as sad as it is to say, ripping packs is viewable content. People love to watch it, and people love to comment hatred or loving comments on it, depending on what you pull. It's content. And I have no problem saying that, I opened an entire bundle strictly so that I could get YouTube content out of it. It's straight facts.
Also, I think someone was talking today, like, diamonds go for 30 to 60,000 stubs. Yeah. If you have 50,000 stubs, buy a diamond. But what if you're that guy with that hot luck? You buy that 50-pack bundle, you pull 3 diamonds. Then you have a ton more stubs. It's true.
Hit the Powerball quickly.
Never know.
And that's exactly it is.
Dream.
It's gambling. It is 100% gambling.
Yeah. It is.
Got to risk it for the biscuit. Because you can, it's a risk reward, and if you're not willing to take the risk, you don't have to. Because especially for like silvers right now, like if you can get away with a silvers are super duper cheap.
Yeah. And I mean, FSU's right. You could spend $100 and end up and buy yourself Kershaw. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I don't think you can afford him right now, if my market knowledge is correct. But
no, I think he's a little more than that.
But he's right. I mean, you could spend $100 and go buy yourself Clayton Kershaw. That is a perfectly viable strategy.
Kershaw's going for 120, 140, so you can get yourself Kershaw.
Okay. Yeah, pretty close.
We got any more questions in there? Go buy packs.
Nope.
Do it now. Buy all the packs.
Yeah, buy packs. Hot fire. We were trying to start the packs being fire earlier today, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I said not to do that, but I'm not you guys. You guys are on your own.
Hey, we're. I mean, for those of you who don't know, obviously, completely in Sony San Diego's pocket.
Yeah,
So,
buy the packs. The more packs you buy, the more we get paid.
yeah, please use the promo code SNAG18 to get 1% off all your packs and guaranteed
Wait, what?
hot fire.
Where did you get a code for packs?
That would be ridiculous.
What packs you buy, Chuck? You should buy all of the packs.
All of
50
the
bundles.
packs.
50 pack bundles. Buy like 4 of them.
Yeah, man. That
Three
them
home runs for
seven-
Freddie Freeman? Yes, it is.
Those 7 toppers, man, hot fire.
Actually, 50,
Evans-
I've been seeing people actually getting really good stuff in their toppers. I just hit
Holy
one,
hell, that Freeman.
536. That's his farthest home run of this game.
Red
Sox-
Sox,
5'10"
Red
and
Sox,
114.
why not 18?
FSU 2014. What are my thoughts on or our thoughts on missions having to do with walks? I'm fine with it because you can actually draw
wait.
walks this year.
Hold on. This guy just brought in Busher. GG. Oh, he has no idea.
He could slide step.
Oh, no.
Does that really work?
Well, you're going to find out.
Also, I have Salty up against Lefty. Watch the match.
Yeah, that's the thing. His stretch means nothing unless you can actually get a man on against
Can
him.
you slide step? Is this true?
Should I be
we-
taking over strongholds as I do conquest? Good question.
Heel
Yes.
Tonks just mortgaged my grandmother's childhood home to buy trout.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys take over the strongholds as you go, or do you save them for later on once you have control of the majority of the map?
Anybody want to take that?
I don't. Why not? Why not take him over? I mean, as long as you're in a good position, like if you're not wasting resources to get it. What I would do is I would try to surround it first
Yeah.
and try to isolate it and then take it down.
Yeah, for me, it depends on what the matchup is like. And, if I have enough people in the area where I outnumber the stronghold greatly and I can play it on All-Star or below, then yeah, absolutely, I'll take it over. If I'm getting outnumbered 2-1 and have to play it on Legend, maybe I just surround it and wait till after.
Yeah, I don't play Stronghold.
It's
on-
case by case basis.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll play a Stronghold on like All-Star, but usually I will wait till I have enough to go in there.
Yes.
And like review your veteran.
What is the strategy for CPU walks? Let me. You don't need to put it on Legend because Legend, you don't get more walks on Legend. You get more walks on probably All Star or Hall of Fame. Legend actually hits the corners a little better. What you should do is find some guys with high discipline, play the CPU on All Star or Hall of Fame. You don't have to sit the controller down, because the CPU will understand that you're sitting the controller down. The CPU will adjust if you don't swing at the first pitch every time. They eventually will start. Just throwing pitches down the middle, waiting for you to finally let it go. So you play it like a real bat. Just take your time, wait for pitches down the middle. I mean, if he gives you a pitch down the middle, kill it because the next time he won't throw you that pitch down the middle.
Yeah. Whenever I have missions that revolve around walks, I usually don't start concerning myself with them until the latter portion of the game, when the starting pitcher's stamina has worn down. As their stamina wears down, they tend to lose control of the strike zone, slightly giving you a little bit better chance to draw a walk. I think any of the walk missions I've done so far, I've probably completed them from the 6th inning on within a game.
And also, the game seems to be smarter about pitching around like your 8-hitter,
Yep.
so that might help you a little bit too.
Yep.
Great pro tip by Digital KLB regarding Conquest. Don't surround strongholds completely. Leave one open path.
It forces you to play him, right? If you take the last one up.
I don't know if it forces you to play him, but I mean, what he's saying is, if you leave one open pathway, that way you can fight your way on a path.
Your exit
to go.
strategy.
Yeah. Although I think you can. Isn't there a portion of the game where you can move resources
move, yeah.
around?
You get
can-
one
yeah,
As
move-
long as they're connected.
Move fans.
Yeah.
The reason why I feel you want to surround a stronghold, I mean, it's okay to take, all of them but one, but you cannot let that one be controlled by the stronghold. If you completely surround a stronghold, it cannot reinforce any of its territories.
Okay.
If it's the only stronghold it has, the reinforce phase is useless. It will no longer be able to reinforce any of its outer territories. Therefore, you're cutting off You're cutting off that team from growing any further.
But yeah, especially so. What worked for me in Conquest, 'cause I did that. I did it the first time in a real stupid way, and then did it again. If you just go like northwest and just grab all those spots that are empty, because there's a lot of empty territory up there. Grab all those guys, grab all those fans, make them yours. Then by the time you finish like the West Coast, you will just be rolling over literally every team in the East. Like I was getting to the point where I would have 99 people on one spot.
Yeah, and there's fewer teams, on the western portion of the map, meaning it's easier to grab spots for sure. I definitely made the wrong move. I went east my first time, and it ended up taking me 50 turns to beat it. I still beat it, but it took way longer and was way more difficult than if I would have taken that western path.
Yeah, the western path worked well, and then but when I got done with the left side, I was literally having like 99 spots going over. Oh, so again with the move thing. So what I do is I'll usually just have like one spot. That's the strong spot.
Yeah.
Rather than having like a bunch of arms going out.
Yeah.
That seems to work for me. And I just screwed up a dumb play because I tried to tag up with Edwin and Throne for no reason.
Just seems like you're asking for trouble, basically.
Yeah. I need to run.
Cool. Is there any other questions? I haven't really been looking at the chat. Any recommendations for any of the cards available in the ticket counter right now?
Is salty out there? Get salty. Don't be salty. Get salty. Oh! Jason Hayward.
Don't be salty. Get salty.
Jason Hayward's a bad man. I think I need 5 home runs in this Team Epic one. So.
Tonks, I really like the Marichal. I know I mentioned earlier in the show. The Juan Marichal is pretty good. I like him. I feel like, again, one thing I mentioned in the video that I did is 700 tickets. I can't say whether or not that's going to be a good deal until we have a level 100 and a level 200 and until the ticket store is full of diamonds. So spending 700 tickets on Juan Marichal could be a good deal, could be a bad deal. I honestly have no idea. It's definitely I was able to spend the 700 and I still had over 1,900 remaining. So tickets are, I don't want to say they're easy to get, but again, completing missions will get you more. So I like the Marichal. I think he's good. Obviously, if you're in the market for a catcher, Salty's out there.
So what's weird about the ticket counter is we're going to go up to what? There's bronze, silver,
400.
Yeah, we're going to go up to 400. And they're having golds on level 50 for bronze. So does that mean there's going to be super duper stuff later out in the year? Or
you also know, so he's level 50 right now. You don't know what the next jump is. So like the first couple of jumps here are 0, 0, 5, 10, 15, 50. Yeah. Like the next jump could be 150 or the next jump could be 200.
And saying, to be fair, they're very low tier golds. The 3 players that are rotating through level 50 are an 84, which is a silver, an 85, and an 86. So I would assume the next jump probably won't be till level 100, and then you could still stay in the gold. You could go to, a 87 to 89. Then you could go to level 200, which could be 90 to 92. 300, which would be 93 to 95, and then have your level 400s be your 99s. There is a path. I don't think, I feel like the only jumps you're going to see from here on out will be 100, 200, 300, 400.
Interesting.
Okay,
go ahead.
Finish. Finish.
No, I was just going to say, because you don't want, 20 different options in the ticket store.
So, couple things. Let's talk about the ticket store real quick. For you folks in the chat, come real close to the speaker because you and I are going to have a personal conversation about the card that you need to buy right now out of the ticket store. You ready for this? I need you to go to the level 15 ticket store for 440 tickets right now. I need you to see Bob Feller sitting there. I need you to look at Bob Feller and understand that 85 stamina, 78 hits over 9, 86 K over 9. The gentleman has a 92 velocity and throws a fastball, curveball, slider to seamer.
You're not just saying this because you're a big Sheamus fan, right?
I'm not just saying this because I'm a big Sheamus fan. I am telling you right now that rookie Feller, if they come out with an event that requires you to have a lower overall, that Cleveland Feller. Now think about this: the fastball he throws, the four seamer. Guess what? Give me an idea what speed it tops out at.
97.
96.
It's 98 by default. It tops out at 100. He has a curveball of 83 with a 76 break on it. He's got an 87-mile-an-hour slider with 80 break on it. His two-seamer that has 67 break on it is 96 miles an hour. Now, he does not have a changeup. I will give you that. He does not have a changeup. He does have the 3 speed tiers that we talk about all the time, and he has undeniable velocity. He is a right-handed starting pitcher version of Aroldis Chapman. Plus, he's got stamina.
I can't argue with that. I don't know what that was. Is that TJ breaking his controller?
No.
Okay.
I think the curve makes up for not having the changeup as well.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
So,
Feather.
If you're looking for somebody that will
Kenny Bunt,
be key to your team in a silver or a lower event, yeah, the Canon and Untouchable are because of the speed. Don't worry about quirks online. The quirks online have nothing to do with gameplay, just a heads up. It's cool that they have them, but none of the quirks do anything on online gameplay except tell you what his pitches and all are. But yeah, that's a must. That is a must. Even for 440 tickets, that is a, hey, this guy is going to just tear and mow down hitters for me.
Pro move right there, guys. I just took my hands, put them behind my head, and walked.
So, a couple of quick questions that people are asking. Yeo Tonk's asking about the Tampa Bay spot for the Conquest mission. You got to get lucky. You got to get there fast and got to get lucky. Miami does have a tendency of taking over Tampa Bay quite quickly. So you just have to make a beeline down there and hope Tampa Bay is able to fight Miami off for a few turns.
Steel fans on your way down.
Steel fans on your way down
from
Miami is if you have, like, I was able to get lucky and I was able to in literally 5 minutes. But if you have a little more time to dedicate to it, you can steal fans from Miami on the way and make your life a little easier. I see. Oh, actually, I see where you typed that in the chat, Millennium. Very nice.
Yep. The other thing is too, if you're not following my Twitter, you don't have to. But Kyle Schwarber drag bunted against the shift tonight.
Nice, love it.
And it was perfect. It ended up on the line. It was so gorgeous. So of course, I want a drag bunt rating increase for Kyle Schwarber.
Do you see any live series players losing value? "Quote unquote" compensation comes out. I can't speculate on my part without having any idea what the compensation is going to be.
Yeah, if the compensation is a 10-pack bundle, yes, I will say right away that you will see the market won't crash, but you'll see the market go down a little bit to start off with.
I mean, even the silvers that are already cheap are going to be cheaper.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and again, if without knowing what the compensation is, it's a big if. But in all likelihood, I think we probably would all agree it's going to be packs of some kind.
Yeah, the last year, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but I think it was a 10-pack bundle.
I think so.
And I feel like this year is a little more egregious than last year.
Yeah, this year, at least last year, you couldn't play. This year you can play, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, all of that being said, I wouldn't expect more.
Yeah.
Because I think a 10-pack bundle is pretty, I mean, that's pretty significant.
It's $10.
But at some point, they've also got to protect the economy of the game. They can't just throw 20-pack bundles with silver possible, higher toppers. They got to be real careful what they get. Like, they're not going to give away bases loaded packs with a better chance of diamonds. It's just not going to happen. So
No. And obviously, it doesn't have to be said, but we'll say it anyway. If they do give out bundles, get your collections list in order, because the market prices are definitely going to take a hit. So yeah, collections will be a little bit easier to complete. But yeah, like, again,
Are you?
oh boys.
Love this game sometimes.
But yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. Yes, this year is definitely a little bit higher on the alarm scale when it comes to community attitudes right now and how the servers have worked. But yeah, they're not going to give everybody a 50-pack. That's just not going to happen. Excuse me for 1 second. There we go.
I'm doing it too. I'm doing the same thing you're doing right now.
Raced you. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't say who got
Vinsanity, listen to me. Listen to me right now. I need you to be able to not take a freaking...
Is that a cell phone picture? I swear to God, I'll unfollow.
It's a cell phone video.
Oh,
Vinsanity, dude, I love you to death, Vinsanity. I've actually, Vinsanity, I love you to death, my guy. You are my dude. You are that dude. I need you to use the PS4 share feature.
It's a button.
Yo.
There's literally a button. They put it on the controller.
You know what? I was
Why?
going back
Who banned
and forth.
him?
I did.
What'd you ban him from the chat for?
Good ban.
Because he was advertising.
Oh, boom, got him. Nice.
It's my job. And you know what? I was going back and forth on whether I was just going to time him out.
Buddy
or ban him,
Bell?
but now that-
Buddy
now
Bell?
that
Buddy
now
Bell?
that
Yes!
now that you're telling me that he's posting cell phone pics, I'm glad I made the right call.
Unban him. Come on. There's no reason. He was just messing around. Like, he wasn't even advertising. He just wanted to show off. He was very excited because he also tweet. Hold on. You know what? Unban.
Yeah, you do it. There.
Vinsanity. Listen, Snaggle's a jerk.
What?
It's Canadian. That just
Not
kind
a
of
jerk.
happens.
Not a jerk.
Vinsanity, you've been unbanned. My dude, listen. I'm glad you're excited for the Jambi. Like, the rewards look awesome. Dude, I need you to use the PS4 share button. Like, for your own good. For your own good, I think you should use it.
I'll send you a 1 liter of maple syrup as reparations for banning you, even though I 100% feel you deserved it. And if you ever did that in my chat, you'd be banned and never allowed back.
Dude!
Luckily, Mills likes you.
Raw's amazing. Oh my god.
Hey, don't.
Why is this game added to the queue?
I don't want to know. I'm watching it as soon as this is over. I'm sure. I don't even want to. I don't even want to check my Twitter.
You're okay, dude. You're
I
okay.
would- I would've-
Yeah,
I would've-
use the PS4 share next time.
Hey, I would have unbanned you anyway. I actually just clicked the wrong button. I just wanted to make a big deal about it. I didn't want to admit I was wrong.
Rebecca, everybody needs that Freddie Freeman. That Freddie Freeman is a monster. Who? Oh my god.
Freddie Freeman. I can only assume the Undertaker's back. I don't even have to watch it.
No. I still pop for that. I mean, the spot's been used a couple times, but I still pop. I'm sorry. I'm
You guys are
completely
still
off.
fighting?
Who's fighting?
I can't tell who the two pictures are in the picture, but I think they're who they are, and that's dumb. That's still a thing. Okay. I won, but my game went to...
Money games are still going to the queue at times.
My game went
especially
to the
during peak times.
and my dope game that I just won.
Yeah. I had a game go to the queue before the servers went offline. The servers have gone offline, by the way, between 8:47 and 8:52 Eastern the last 3 nights in a row, in case anybody's keeping track at home. And if you aren't keeping track at home, you can go to @showservers on Twitter.
You can do that, yes.
And you could keep track at home.
Coming from somebody who had a problem with OS going offline between 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. for like a month straight, I can tell you it's a problem.
Apparently, I've had another amazing game with this person before.
Oh, nice.
I have a hard time believing OS ever goes offline.
Please don't.
He had nice jerseys at some point.
Yeah, good, because I know he's not talking about your nice jerseys. Those things are terrible.
Oh, hideous.
Don't hate the fire. Don't hate the fire.
Oh my God, dude! Holy Jesus!
Things are going crazy.
That is insane.
Insane in the membrane.
Is it insanity? Is it Vinsanity?
It's not Vinsanity.
I have to admit, I almost feel bad because I love Dude's username, like being a Vince Carter fan. All right, well,
What else we got? Anything else? Are we done?
I'm
Is that an episode?
I'm scrolling through the chat. I'm sure we probably missed a few, but I don't feel like we did. I feel like we answered everybody's questions admirably to the best of our ability, which is all that we can do.
TV Steeler on YouTube thinks Kyle Drabeck is a good pitcher. I don't know. Doug Drabeck.
Kyle Drabeck?
Doug Drabeck, way more legit.
Stanton or Cruz?
Cruz.
I'm gonna say Cruz too.
I'm gonna double
I think,
check.
I think Stanton's
Yeah.
gonna have problems this year.
I can't. What's his vision this year?
Vision's too
22?
low, yeah.
22, 25?
Are they both
I
right
can't
fielders,
hack- I
or-
can't hack that vision.
Yeah, 52 vision, 94
I mean-
contact. Yeah.
I mean-
say it, Cruz.
I mean, neither to be honest. If I had a third option, I probably wouldn't go with either of them. But
yeah, I don't like Cruz's fielding in the slightest.
yeah, there's
you gotta be real careful with fielding on both of them. To be fair,
you know what you need? Starling Marte.
Who's likely to go from silver to gold in the next update? No one, because I don't think there's.
I
gonna
wouldn't
be
worry
any-
about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
the update coming this Friday, and it is again now it's subject to change because of the server issues. But apparently the update's supposedly coming Friday. It's going to be mostly transactions and lineup changes.
Is
They did.
Homeboy's not in this game, right? Who is the dude from Korea? Brewers.
He's not familiar.
Daho Lee,
No, Brewers.
Eric Thames.
Eric Thames. Yeah, got to get.
Yeah,
him.
he's not.
I
He's
wanna
not.
see what-
He might be in the game actually.
He's not. I want to see what his card looks like.
Okay.
I just pulled up the Brewers.
He's not yet.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought maybe he would still be in the Players Association from when he was here a few.
No, apparently not.
Yeah, so they did say before they bumped the roster update last week on Thursday, they did say the first two roster updates, which would have been last week and this week, were intended to be additions only, and that they would not be editing attributes until the 28th is the last Friday of the month.
Which is, by the way, what they always do.
They've always done it that way.
They've never updated ratings based on knee-jerk first-week reactions.
Small sample size.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
It's all about that big sample size.
Well, and again, like Millennium mentioned earlier when we were talking about the compensation issue, you can't throw the market into flux on a small sample size and then have to adjust it the next week when the guy plays back down to earth. You give things a month to settle, injuries to happen and trends to begin, and then you worry about bumping guys up and down levels and, changing the market landscape for certain players.
Where'd you get
Once
that from?
Where'd I get what from?
You got a cool YouTube.
Subscribe. It's a Throwboy pillow. Throwboy pillow. Throwboy.com. Hashtag Throwboy. They make a bunch of emoji stuff. Go get
Nice.
it. So, yeah. Make sure you guys, if you're not already, follow us on Twitter at ThatSportsGamer, at MillenniumOS, at SnaggleJ. Those are the names everywhere, except for some fancy boy over on twitch.tv/Operation Sports. You get that sub button yet? I got this Prime sub waiting to give you.
I don't think so.
I checked it 2 hours ago and it wasn't there.
Yeah,
I think
they had some
lies. You just lying.
They had some delays due to Easter weekend.
Oh, sure. That's what it is.
It's coming. It's coming.
Well, yeah, because JV got his right around the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, JV got his, I think, a little earlier than I got mine.
Yes, and his just went live today. His button went
Yes.
live this afternoon. So again, it's usually a 7 to 10 day window. I think you're probably due tomorrow, the next day. I'll just keep sitting here hitting refresh like I have been for the last 5 days. Me and Doc Zen are in the eternal race to who's going to be first.
Oh, Thames
I just
another home run tonight?
Just robbed a home run with Tony Gwynn, by the way. Tony Gwynn, if you can get him, amazing.
Wait, Eric Thames has had 5 home runs already this year?
Yeah, he does. He has more home runs than the entire Blue Jays roster combined.
Let's go.
Remove Kendry Morales.
Can we add Kendrick Lamar to that list?
No.
Buddy Bell didn't do anything for me that game. I was pretty surprised.
Looks like you're a bit late. About almost 2 hours late. It happens.
What's a good silver or bronze flashback card?
Yeah. Duh.
6. Oh, because he hit 5 in a row, so you must have had one.
Yeah, he has one tonight too. Yeah.
Silver or bronze flashback. I just had a bunch of flashbacks I was using for the Steve Garvey. The Steve Garvey first base one is pretty good.
Yeah.
What is the other one?
I've actually grown to like the All-Star Brock Holt. He doesn't do anything spectacularly, but he does everything pretty well. He's pretty good at the plate. He plays a multitude of positions. I kind of like him. He's kind of grown on me a little bit.
The rookie Tony Gwynn, pretty good.
Yep.
I just thought with the gold, but the rookie is amazing as well.
Hardware Chris Coughlin.
Guys, that ref died.
No. Hardware Chris Coughlin has 90 and 83 in the contact department and has 91 vision, I believe. So if you're looking for some high average, high contact players, that Chris Coughlin is pretty sweet. Unfortunately, though, he only qualifies at left field and right field, which is a bit of a Chris Coughlin problem.
That Chris Coughlin always causing problems.
He is.
Bob Feller. We're the one to spend 440 tickets there.
I mean,
Yes, you do. Do it right now for science. Do a player review. Get it done. Get it done.
That's what I got you for. Did you guys see that Corey Dickerson?
I did.
Looks pretty nice.
He was actually, when I first loaded up you guys saw I tweeted that out. When I first loaded up the Captain Store after the update, or the servers
Ticket
came
counter.
back.
ticket counter.
The ticket counter, sorry.
Well, that's one. That's $1 in the collection jar.
Okay. When I loaded it back up, the Dickerson was there. And then I backed out of it and went back into it, and it was the Marichal. So, interesting. But yeah, the Dickerson was nice. I'm not going to... I'm strongly considering getting him when he has his turn.
Ben Drow is playing Conquest earlier without an issue, but that does not mean you won't have an issue. What you're doing right now in terms of playing games, it is at your own risk until you're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jerry, earn tickets just by playing and completing missions.
Completing missions, yep. Absolutely.
They count that game? Yeah, guys, I'm in wild card, which means I've lost out on Francisco Liriano.
Oh, nice.
But I have a feeling if you look at where that is, that little head-to-head like leaderboard there that shows the rewards, they look like packs. They look like you're going to get packs with them.
Yeah, I would say that you will.
So I got boosted up to a better bronze card because it's a
But
brown-looking pack.
yeah, see, I managed. I slow played the seasons really bad, so I just got to Liriano today. But the question is, what level will I make it to before I lose a game? That's the question.
So I'm 13-0 now, and that last game was real hairy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 9-0. Took 9 wins to get to Liriano.
Yeah, 'cause I think you get like 48 points or something for each game, something around there.
It depends. It's like
Based
in
on
previous
their
years.
stuff.
It depends on your rating matchup. If you play a team that's much higher rated than you earn additional points.
Yeah, I ended up being somewhere around like 40 to 48 per round.
I was looking at the standings yesterday, and there is one undefeated team in the World Series.
Oh, yeah, who's that?
Pitching Rebel. No, it's not Rebel because Rebel's not playing head-to-head seasons.
Why not?
Because he's playing Battle Royale and winning 12-0 a bunch of times so he could sell the cards.
Ah, good thinking.
I didn't notice who it was. It wasn't a name that stuck out to me as somebody I immediately recognized, but I believe they were.
Go look, yeah.
Yeah,
hold on.
TJ's on.
Or start a game.
I just played a game, and I won.
No, don't play a game. Go to World Series and
He's doing it. You gotta wait through the delay. That's all.
not wait for the delay.
Your boy's
Do it.
13-0. That's all that matters.
Well, yeah, I'm 9-0. So there's a good poll question
It's
for
World
tomorrow.
Series, right? Is it the highest?
It is World Series.
30-0 Gremlins.
I didn't see that.
It was on the first page when I was there yesterday.
Yeah, 30-0 Gremlins. So I guess you can make it there in 30 or less wins. This guy's got 29-0. The Betru
Nice.
to the game. Be a Viking.
Well, that's going to be a good bullpen banter question of the day in the Discord tomorrow. Who will lose first in ranked seasons, me or TJ? Millennium, have you lost in ranked seasons yet?
I think I haven't lost either. I think I'm.
Oh, baby.
Now I'm I'm much further down, but I mean I think I'm like 6-0, maybe 5-0, something like
Oh,
that.
boys.
Can I see?
You can't see friends.
Damn. God, I hate. Ah!
Wow. The hatred is real.
It's like just showing my friends.
I wonder, can you see them on Show Nation? I'm going there right now.
I want to know where. I want to know Chivo's record. That has been getting ridiculousness. I beat him. That's all that matters. I beat number 3 in the world once. So I hang my hat on it.
Congratulations.
Head to head. Who's got the most wins? I'm 27,033 ranked in the world right now. So,
By the way, we talked about Ryan Bucher earlier. You might not like his windup for when runners are on base, but he is a pickoff artist.
does it work?
Yes, I think the pickoff word it works. I'm playing Battle Royale now, and it shows up, so it definitely works.
No.
It's because pickoff artist isn't based on a split. Pickoff
Right.
artist is based on an under the hood rating.
But can he do it?
Yeah, can't, because he doesn't pitch from the stretch. It's a glitch, right? So can he actually pick people off?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, because he's locked to the windup.
What team is that?
San
Padres,
Diego.
right?
Yeah, San Diego. Yeah.
I don't know if this. I don't know if this will work, but sure. I'll be safe facing the 7, 8, 9 hitters.
Guy just tried to bunt with Ken Griffey Sr. against me, not realizing he can't bunt.
Yeah, someone tried to do that, and they bunted it directly at the third baseman. And then
Yes.
the third baseman stepped in the bag, and then the next guy just ran at third base, and my third baseman was too stupid to tag him.
It's because your third baseman is Edwin Encarnacion.
I don't care if my third baseman is a 4-year-old child. If he's standing on top of the bag, he knows to put... Well, I guess I'm wrong, because I've been watching Major League Baseball games, and they don't understand how to tag people that are coming to the base. So, I'm wrong.
Very good point. I had a guy this morning.
Oh, wow. Wait, you can... I did not realize you could quick pitch out of the windup.
Oh.
Like, with nobody on base. Is that real?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can slide step?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
Again,
Yes, you
Butcher's
can.
broken.
I just
Oh, okay.
did it. I just did it in
Nice, the old wind-up slide.
Battle
step.
Royale.
Oh, so
Nice.
I might be using... Butcher might be in the replay.
I was going to say, are you both using Butcher, though?
Yes, I'm using Butcher in my Battle
Okay,
Royale.
okay, just a second. I'm about to pitch with somebody who's not Butcher.
Yes.
No, it does not work.
Really?
So-
Butcher's broken.
Slide-
I like it.
Butcher
Butcher
is
is
definitely-
straight broken.
I have, because I'm pitching with rookie Max Scherzer right now and holding L2 and picking a pitch. He just goes to his conventional windup.
Okay, so you can slide step with him with a runner on base.
But you just can't pick off.
Oh, I didn't try pickups. I'm sorry.
Butcher can't pick from the stretch, but you can fast pitch him
Oh, there's
with
nobody on
him.
base. Hold on.
So yeah, I had a guy try to suicide squeeze with his pitcher at the plate, down 2 runs in the 5th inning today. I had no idea what he was doing.
Can I
I
slide
mean,
step
I
the
just
pitcher?
blew it by his pitcher and tagged the guy out at home. But I'm like, dude, you're down 2 runs in the 5th inning and your pitcher's up. Wasn't really sure what he was doing there.
Oh, so you can pick off with him from the slide step. I'm sorry. You can pick off with him with a runner on.
Okay.
Oh, I like that he went to Showtime.
And
Nice.
throw it into center field.
I don't know how to use showtime.
TJ doesn't play road to the field very much with fielding opportunities on.
I don't
No, that's true.
I would use buttons with accuracy anyway. Yeah, so he's in his windup, which means... Oh, should I show that?
It's so bad.
I don't think the computer is smart enough to pitch from the windup.
To
from the
steal
stretch.
on you, you mean?
To do the quick pitch with him. No, the computer stole on me. I was really pissed.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, the computer sent a guy that was like 65 or 70 speed and just
Nice.
took it like it wasn't even a thing.
Solid.
How can I
Yeah,
get-
card is draft neck mark on the chat. The card is so broken you have to have it in the bullpen.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think
Yes,
you need him.
Yep.
Can you send guys in batting practice? I don't think so, right?
Buy him now before he's fixed and his price goes up. He's good.
Can you send guys in batting practice? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so, no.
We'll see.
Okay, well, I don't think we have any more questions. I think it's just, good times.
Just got to double check this last thing. Hey, you know
Yep.
what? Loading screens are better than years ago. So like we can do stuff, and it's not a big deal to hop in and out of stuff.
Hopefully, actually, someone knows about Bucher because he is at 500 by now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So someone must know, right?
Okay, I can't send him. I mean, I've been saying it because I had one where literally Ichiro, flashback Ichiro, was slowing down into second base before he even released the pitch.
that's awesome.
Oh, he can't steal. I can't send him.
He is so broken. He's like on Matt Hardy levels.
I
of
was
broken.
waiting for the Matt Hardy joke.
He changed.
Are
his,
we done? Are we
He
done?
changed,
think we're
he
done.
changed his Twitter name, by the way. Eh?
At
you guys see
at
that?
some point, we're gonna hear that the episode ran too long, and you can't put it on YouTube.
Oh my god, I know.
I just played a 9-inning versus CPU game and lost connection at the exit screen. I hate this game.
Oh, draft's right. He's one of the silvers for the Padres collection, and the Padres collection doesn't have much in it. So
Yeah. Caps
No,
is also
he's
quite expensive.
I think. Yeah, I think Butcher is the second or third
Yeah, it's like him, Caps, and Myers.
highest rated player on the team.
Yeah.
There's Myers. Yeah, Myers is an 84, Caps is an 83, and I think Butcher is an 83 as well.
Yeah, you can't steal this. Yeah. That'll do it for this week's beautiful episode of Bullpen Banter. Episode 44. We're still crushing it out here. A lot of shows have come and gone. We're still here. What do you guys think? Hit us up on Twitter, @ThatSportsGamer, @Millennium, @SnaggleJ, YouTube.com/ThatSportsGamer, Operation Sports, and SnaggleJ. And those are the same for the Twitches. Anything else? Any closing thoughts on hitting or anything we talked about tonight? Go get better at hitting.
Power swing all the time. Just take rips.
Never.
Mad rips.
Never power swing.
repetition, practice mode. One of the things that I like to do is go in the challenge of the week when you first get on. Challenge of the week is one of those things you can use to kind of warm up before you play any other game modes. I think it's actually a very good warm up because pitchers treat each difficulty level as it's a real game. So
True.
That's a very good tip.
Well, there's only one thing left to do, though. Get out of the bullpen and get into the game. Take it easy, folks. See you again next week. Same bat time. Same bat channel. Oh, get it? Bat, because it's baseball.